If you would be sworn, if you'd raise your right hand and be sworn, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Take a seat there, sir. Mr. Mando.
Good morning, Mr. Clem.
Good morning.
Could you state your full name for the record, please?
James Clem
Mr. Clem, where are you employed?
at Harlan County Board of Education, James A. Cawood Elementary School.
How long have you been there?
We moved there from our former location at Hall about 3 years ago,
How long have you been employed with the school system?
27 years.
And did you serve in a capacity at James A. Cawood Elementary School?
Excuse me?
Did you work at James A. Cawood Elementary School?
Yes, I did.
And
I'm
what
a principal
position?
there.
Principal?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been a principal at that school?
Since we moved there, I was principal at Hall Elementary before we moved there. I've been principal a total of about 6 or 7 years, I believe. That's kind of hard to remember.
Do you know Judge Russell Allred?
Yes, sir, I did.
How do you know him?
His wife came to us as an employee there, and I think he then moved some of his, or not some of his, but his children there, and they were enrolled there.
Are you familiar in your capacity as principal at James A. Cawood with a person named Robin Hensley Teshon?
Yes, sir.
Who is she?
She's a substitute teacher with the district, and we often use her there.
How long has she been a substitute teacher in Harlan County? At your school?
About 3 years, I guess, including this year.
At some point in time, Mr. Clem, were you approached by Judge Allred where the subject of Ms. Robin Hensley Teshon came up?
Yes.
Tell us what you recall about that, please.
Judge Alden came to the school, and in the conference room adjacent to my office, he brought my attention to the fact that Miss Hensley Teshon was involved in a court case, and asked why she was still substituting. I told him that the district or the law doesn't exclude her. She had passed through the district requirements and the training, and I told him I would check to make sure that she was okay with the district. And so I talked with Mr. Roark there, and he said that she was all right to do that, to substitute teach.
Did you communicate that to Judge Allred?
I can't quite recall that. I'm almost certain I did, but I couldn't say for sure.
Was there another occasion when Judge Allred talked to you about Ms. Hensley Teshon?
Yes, a month or two later, he brought the same question up, and I told him then. Well, at that point, I did tell him that I had checked with Mr. Roark, and it was okay. But I told him I would check again then, and I did, and Mr. Roark said it's okay again. So I think that was the last of it.
Before Judge Allred came to you and asked you about why Ms. Teshon was still subbing in the district, did Ms. Teshon tell you about the criminal charge?
Yeah, I didn't ask her, but she came and volunteered that information. I think she something about an insurance claim, a Jeep and something, but I think she also went to the district office and explained to those folks about it. So, on Mr. Roark's okay, I went ahead and used her as a sub because we were really pressed for substitute teachers at that time. We had to use it. And, well, she did okay. Mm-hmm. And,
did you at some point come to learn that after these conversations were these were meetings or conversations with Judge Allred? I'm trying to understand if it was a telephone
Conversations
conversation?
mostly, conversations, I think.
Were they over the phone or at the school?
At the school,
All right, so they were in person.
yes.
At some point after Judge Allred spoke with you about Ms. Teschon and asking why she was still subbing at the school, did you come to learn that he placed a condition on her bond?
Yes, she returned to the school and told me she could not sub anymore because Judge Allred had said that she was not to sub in any school in the district as a part or condition of some decision or something. I wasn't really sure of it.
And what did you do at that point? What did the school have to do?
I didn't call her to sub anymore.
At least until the matter was cleared up?
Right.
1 second, please, Mr. Chairman.
You may.
I have no further questions. Mr. Clem, thank you very much, sir. I'll pass to Judge Allred for
Judge
cross-examination.
Allred, you may ask.
Mr. Clem, have you ever called a teacher under your employment and told them that you hated me and that you would do anything you could to see me off the bench and that you would work against me in any election that I ever had? Do you recall saying that?
Possibility.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr. Bando, anything further?
Nothing further.
Any member of the commission have any questions for Mr. Clem? No. Mr. Clem, I assume he's free to go.
Yes, he is.
Thank you, Mr. Clem.
Thank you, Mr. Clem. Our next witness, Mr. Chairman, would be Ed Taylor. I believe
If it-
Mr. Kelly might be trying to track me down in one of the rooms out there.
That is a question I do have. A lot of these witnesses are testifying and then back out to the same room that witnesses come in. And I would just ask that, as a precaution, we might either admonish them not to discuss their testimony or.
We'll do that from this point forward.
Yeah, we've been very, very careful about making sure that
I
witnesses are
believe
not talking.
I know the
Except
ones
I
that
can
were
control
here
the courtroom.
yesterday, I told them that too, but I will do that at your request, Judge Allred. Who's your next witness again, Mr. Bando?
Taylor,
Spell the last name.
Taylor.
Thank you.
Check, Mr. Chairman. See if we've lost somebody.
You just had a woman walk in the very back of the room, I don't know if she's a witness.
Ma'am, you're not a witness in this matter, are you? Thank you.
Commission calls Ed Taylor.
Please come around, raise your right hand and be sworn, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Would you take a seat there, sir? Mr. Mando, you may ask.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Taylor, could you please tell the members of the commission your full name, please?
My name is Michael E. Taylor,
Mr. Taylor, where are you employed?
Harlan County Sheriff's Department,
How long have you worked there?
about 7 years.
What specific duties do you perform for the sheriff's office?
I'm the captain of the Sheriff's Department and head of security at Justice Center.
Were you working for the sheriff's department at the courthouse on May the 3rd of 2010 when the Grisham matter was brought before the grand jury?
Yes, sir.
And did you have an occasion on that particular day to observe and hear any part of a meeting or conversation or incident between Judge Russell Allred and Commonwealth Attorney Henry Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Could you please tell the members of the commission what you observed and what you heard?
I'd made my rounds that morning, and I was going up to the 3rd floor. As the elevator door opened up, I heard, "Get out of my office." And then I stepped out in the hallway, and I heard it again, "Get out of my office." And Mr. Johnson and Mr. Allred come out into the hallway. Mr. Allred put his finger in his face and told him he needed to grow a backbone, turned, walked away, and mumbled something like bull crap or something like that. That was it.
Was Judge Allred angry or upset?
Seemed to be.
Did Commonwealth Attorney Johnson say anything that you heard?
No, sir.
Did anything else happen that day with regard to Commonwealth Attorney Johnson?
Yes, sir. Are you talking about the card and
Yes, sir.
escorting to his
Yeah.
car?
Well, tell us what you know about that.
There was a phone call from his secretary, Judge Allred's secretary downstairs. They asked for me, and I was out of the office at the moment.
Testifying about what's on the
No,
call.
he's not talking about the truth of it, just what happened. Go ahead, continue.
Officer Ivor Pryor told me that
Objection here, sir.
I'm not offering it for the truth. I'm not offering to explain what he did.
Go ahead.
that I was to take Mr. Johnson's card and escort him to the car, and I did.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. No further questions.
Judge, you may ask.
How much do you make with the Harlan County Sheriff's Department?
Objection?
Goes to the motive for lying.
What was the question again, Judge?
How much does he make for the Harlan County Sheriff's Department?
You may answer.
Probably $400 a week, sir.
What do you make a year?
26.
And your boss is Marvin Lipford?
Yes, sir.
Has he contacted you and had you come to his office and make numerous reports on me?
No, sir.
Okay. No further questions.
Mr. Mando, any further questions?
1 second. No further questions, Mr. Taylor. Mr. Chairman.
Members of the commission, anyone on the commission have a question for,
He can be excused from my standpoint, Mr. Chairman.
you're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
You're not to discuss your testimony with anyone outside this court.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Mando?
Call Winston Yeary. I think Mr. Cowley is securing him.
Raise your hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Take a seat there. Thank you. Mr. Mando?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Could you please state your full name, please?
Yes, Chief Deputy Winston Urie,
Where do you work, sir?
Harlan County Sheriff's Office.
How long have you worked there?
Altogether, I've been there 9 years. I This is my second time back at the sheriff's office. I've been there 4 years now.
What are your chief duties and responsibilities at the sheriff's office?
I work under the sheriff, and usually I pretty much do whatever he needs me to do at the time.
Were you working in the sheriff's office during the period of time that the sheriff and the attorney general were conducting an investigation involving Judge Executive Joe Grisham?
I was.
And were you present at any point in time at a discussion or meeting with Judge Russell Allred and Sheriff Lipford where the subject of the Grisham investigation came up?
Yes, I was.
Tell us when and where that occurred, first of all, if you recall.
Okay. We were at the old Harlan County Courthouse upstairs in the old circuit courtroom. It was Sheriff Lipford, myself, and Judge Russell Allred. We began the conversation with just
I didn't hear, what location did he say we were at?
The old
the
county
old
courthouse.
circuit courtroom upstairs.
Inside the courthouse?
Yes.
Thank you.
We were sitting around talking, it's small talk at first, and then I'd asked the judge if he would continue a case that was coming up in his court. It was a Melissa Hensley case. I explained that she was an informant for us and she was working a case and that we needed to get her court date continued. He had stated that he had had several complaints on Miss Hensley and that he was going to keep the court date, and if she was out on bond and she failed her drug test, that he was going to have her revoked. So Sheriff Lipford and I talked to him for a few minutes and told him that she was actually very important to our case and it was a very big case. And he had asked us, who the case was on, and we told him it was Judge Joe Grisham. He was a little reluctant to believe us at first, and we persisted, told him no, it was Judge Joe Grisham. I can't remember if Sheriff Lipford and I offered to show him the video or if he requested the city video, but at that point we started downstairs to the sheriff's office to see the video of the first drug transaction with Judge Grisham. As we was going down the steps, I said, "Judge, are you sure you can view this video with you being the judge?" And he said, "I have to recuse myself from the case anyhow." And he gave a reason, but I can't remember what the reason was for his recusal. We walked down to the sheriff's office. The sheriff was supposed to have the video on his computer. He couldn't locate it, so I had to walk back upstairs and get the original video out of the case file. I brought it back downstairs, and we viewed it in the sheriff's office on his computer.
Did Judge Allred seem interested in wanting to view this evidence?
Absolutely.
Were specifics of the case discussed on this particular occasion?
After we viewed the video, I can't remember the judge's exact words, but it was pretty much to the effect that, this is a good start to the case, but this isn't going to be enough, and he agreed to continue Ms. Hensley's upcoming court date.
Deputy, why did you ask Judge Allred whether it was appropriate for him to review the tape, if he thought it was appropriate to review the tape?
Well, honestly, Judge Allred I always felt like was a good judge, pro-law enforcement judge, and I wouldn't want to have disqualified him from sitting on the case. If I was going to present a case and have it taken to the circuit court, I would have preferred to have Judge Allred as the presiding judge.
So were you concerned that his review of the evidence would disqualify him in some way?
Yes.
No further questions, Mr. Chairman. Pass for cross-examination to Judge Allred.
Judge, you may ask.
Just a few.
Chief Deputy Uri. This all occurred inside the old courthouse in Harlan County, is that correct?
That is correct.
And what do you make a year working for the sheriff?
Same with
Per hour.
For the record, please. Mr.
Total
Chair.
for the year. What did you make last year working for the sheriff?
I believe it was around 42,000, Your Honor.
No further questions. And he can be finally excused from the last case.
And no redirect, can be excused from our standpoint.
Members of the commission, any questions? Sheriff, you're excused. You're not to discuss your testimony with anyone outside this courtroom.
Understood.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, please, the commission, could we have about a 5 to 10 minute recess to confer to, we may have one more witness, we may not.
That's fine. Let's take a 10-minute break. We'll be back at 10 minutes after 11.
Thank you.